Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, 1 minute drum lesson, here we go. Now today's tip is aimed at the 15, 16, 17-year-old version of me. And that tip is, don't hit your cymbals too loud, dummy. This is such a simple bit of advice, but actually I think it's one of the most important things. Honestly, when I think back to the things that really matter through my career, if you like, of playing gigs and playing with different bands and different artists, one of the biggest things I think is, you know, as drummers, we get obsessed with certain things, don't we? Like the crack of our snare drum, how great our crash cymbals sound. That's all great, but you've got to remember what it's like being someone else in the band with you, especially a singer, man. Everybody, but especially a singer. What are the things that a singer is thinking about, man? Like the most important thing from the drums, obviously they want it to feel good, they want it to sound great, they don't want it to be too loud. And how many times have we heard a singer say it, man? That snare drum, that crash cymbal, it was just too much. They have to strain, they have to work harder. Man, whatever you do, don't hit your cymbals too loud. That's one side of it for me, from a band point of view. I swear, like, you know, I've been very lucky. I've played with loads of great bands and loads of great artists and great singers. But I honestly think one of the things that for me got me a lot of gigs and gets me a lot of gigs is just this simple thing. Like, how many times have I played with a band and they said, oh, actually, it's really nice when when you played on the cymbals, it wasn't too much. You know, a piano player in particular that I play with, he says this all the time. It's lovely when you go to the cymbals and they just got that, you know, mellower sound. Still sounds good. You can still get a big tone. You can still get the shoulder of the stick on the edge of the cymbal and make a nice sound. But man, don't wail away on those cymbals. That's such a huge tip. The other thing is the sound of your drums, I always think. Taking it right back to John Bonham, and this has been spoken about quite a bit, but it's true. One of the great things amongst, you know, millions of great things about his playing was when he played his drums, he hit his drums hard and they sounded big and huge. But when he played those cymbals, it's funny, he wasn't wailing away on them, right? So you're getting... You're getting that huge sound, you know what I mean? And what happens when a drummer is wailing away on a crash cymbal, I always think, especially if, like it was perhaps in the older days when there's not as many microphones around the kit, or like this, you're just basically unmiked, just using the iPhone audio here. What happens is if you go too much on the cymbal, it can get unmusical, you know, it can take over the sound of the rest of the kit. And especially in the old days, if a drummer was playing, you know, really wailing on that cymbal, somebody would say, oh, the drums sound a bit weedy, you know, turn it up. And you turned it up, all you heard was more cymbal, right? So man, top tip, it's so simple, but close to my heart, and I swear it's got me a ton of gigs over the years. Don't play your cymbals too loud. That was your 1 minute drum lesson.